Hey traders, welcome to QuadS Trading. And if you short sell penny stocks, you're absolutely going to love our Discord. That's all we do. We have awesome tools and we short sell penny stocks day in, day out. So yesterday on the 13th, MNTS pumped quite a bit and it did trigger what we call a VW1. So you can see it with this green circle here on our indicator. And essentially what happens is when it closed below the VWAP and on a green candle, that's when you take your position. But for this one here, I was busy while I was trading this one. I was on my phone and I didn't look at the news, and this was a NASA news. We do not short NASA news on the first dump, like on the first close below VWAP. This was a mistake on my part, not a big deal. You learn from your mistakes, and it just pumped. I got stopped out and I lost $204 on a $10,000 account. Once that happened there, I didn't feel this trade here. I didn't want to revenge trade this at all. Even this one here, like up here, we were waiting for that close below. I wanted to take that position right here, but it tanked way too fast. And from here to the midpoint, there's just not enough profit. So right now we are focusing on a midpoint profit target, just because in the past couple weeks with the earnings, the midpoint is the target that gets hit most of the time. Prior to that, I know from April all the way to July, the returns were crazy with this strategy because everything was hitting our purple lines. But for now, we're just doing the midpoints. So our returns are a little bit smaller, but we play a little bit safer. So as you can tell, midpoint gets hit and it bounced right back up, and then it just comes right back down later. Now, if you were to play the other strategy that we do, which is pivots and resistance, if you were to look at the 4-hour chart right here like this, real quick, you have a peak here with what is this? 42 million volume. This peak here with 3.8 million, 260k, 900k. So you can draw a nice line like this, and you try and hit a couple of these just like this, right? You would hit this one, and this one, which would give you a line at 240. And if you go to your 5-minute chart, boom, look at that. So some people took an entry right here. Our full-time day traders would have definitely taken an entry right here, and then you cover at the purple line right here. So this would have been a nice win for those who took it, but I did not take it. So I usually am done trading at noon. That's just my style. It's what I do. But we have, you have different styles of traders, even though we follow the same, let's say, the same strategy. So they took it up here, and they would cover it down here for a very nice win. And then this one here also, if you go to a day, right, this is going to be doing like what we call a first red day on a gapper. So this one here gaps 72%, and then here's your first red day. So I'm going to assume, following what most penny stocks do, this here will tank to this pivot right here at 117. So that's what and you can tell from the chart here, it is on a huge downtrend. And as soon as you see like how this candle here did a nice gap up of 82%, look, it comes back down, right? Here's a nice little gap up, and it comes back down. So I'm going to assume that this is also another gap up. This is going to come back down. So we are going to be playing, or actually at least I will be playing this tomorrow on the 15th. Okay, so next trade that we have, this is today. So like I said, we now do midpoint exits. So this one here, TRIB, it pumped actually quite a bit. If you look from the day before, right here, 100%. It triggered that green circle. The same thing with this here. See how it pumped? It just dumped too much. And then so our midpoint, is here to here. If it's there's not enough profits there for us to take the risk, so you skip that and you wait for that big second pump. And if this would have went down to these purple lines, so be it. Right now, because the market is not as good for us bears, we're playing it very safe, like I was saying before. So we wait for that second pump, and there you go. Look, big nasty second pump right here, and this is your VW entry, and you cover at the midpoint. So this one here was a much better profit target. We got some nice profit here. So this would have been 2% of your account because this shows 20%. But I played it a little bit longer down here because it already hit the midpoint here. So I'm assuming on the second pump, after the second pump, it would go down to the EMA. So I played it, and then when it was down here, I did a range order that if it touched 206, a slightly above a round number of 2, I would get out. So I got out here, which is fine. It's a nice little profit. It's from here to here. We're still looking at about 15%, so 1.6% of my account, and it just tanked. Now this one here, if you were to go on the 4-hour chart for the traders that are playing with resistance and pivots, if you look right here, right, we've got some resistance in the 350, but ideally this would have been a really nice resistance up in the 417, which I don't think it reached. It did not know. So see, like right here, this would have been a nice, if it went up there, a lot of people would have got into that 415-ish. Okay, so then we're going to go back to the 5-minute chart. Oh, sorry, let's go to the 1-minute chart here. So this here is this is one pattern that I like to trade, is when it gaps up like this. It gaps up on a red. So this one here, we're going to take a position tomorrow, and this here should go all the way down to the to this area here, which would be a nice win if it does. It may take a couple days, be short for a couple days, but look at this. There's a reverse split on here. So this is the pump before the reverse split, right? So they're just going to let this thing go right down to zero. Well, not as to zero, but like, in the 40s, 70s, whatever, and then they're going to reverse split it right back up. And then the next trade that we have today is XPON. So this one here is a VW2. As you can tell, these are yellow circles. So on the yellow circles, you want it to dip down below the VWAP once. Not a test like this, just one candle down and up. You want to go like below, come back up, come back below, boom. This is your entry right here at 379. And so I exit at the midpoint, right? So 334 is my exit. As I said, we exit at the midpoint now. Now, when it hit the EMA and it came back up like this, I actually took another position right here. And let me tell you why. If I go back to the 1-day chart again, this is doing the exact same pattern than the TRIB, right? A gap up. Now, this one only shows 54%. But if we go back to the 4-hour chart, or sorry, the 5-minute chart here, right? That's because yes, that's it shows like a 54% because it tanked hard. So at the time that I saw this right here, it would have been 334. So if I go to my day chart, sorry, 234. So I would have seen that up in this area here, right? It's a little bit higher. So this here is like that one red day candle where it gaps up and it tanks. I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to take this trade because I'm going to assume it's going to tank down to this 126, right? So if it goes down here, this would be a nice little profit target. So I will be entering the trade back in today. I got out because I didn't want to pay the overnight fees of $30. I figured the short, the locates would be cheaper, just take it back again the next day. But if you look at the 5-minute candle, I'm glad I got in because it did a filing and it just tanked right down here. So yes, so tomorrow I'll be taking this trade here, from here all the way down to right here. That's my plan. So anyways, that's it for these for the past couple days. If you like what you see, hop over to our Discord. We short sell these every day. We've got some awesome short sellers. We know we have a chat, we have live trading, everything. So just hop in our Discord and we'll see you there.